Hello there, I'm Nancy McClernon, President and CEO of the Global Business Alliance. Thank you for joining us. Each year, we recognize the incredible community work international companies support around the United States. It's one more demonstrable way our global connections with our allies matter. And given the extraordinary moment we find ourselves in, we thought it all the more important to spotlight a few of these stories of hope, growth, and caring. When international companies set up operations in the United States, they bring rich traditions with them. Whether it be green initiatives, social enrichment, or economic development, international businesses contribute heavily to the strengthening of our communities and have done so for many, many decades. So although no company undertakes such actions for the recognition, we could not let them go unrecognized. And that's what we're going to do now.
Panasonic North America partnered with the Skyhook Foundation in collaboration with the Los Angeles Office of Outdoor Environmental Education to fund Camp Skyhook's Eco Vans initiative, a mobile alternative to immersive and outdoor STEM learning opportunities for students during the COVID-19 pandemic. The initiative began in 2019 as a week-long year-round STEM camp. The mobilization of the Eco Vans has allowed the program to reach students throughout Los Angeles during the pandemic. The vans transport exhibits that include materials from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, LA Maritime Institute, the UCLA Science Project, and more. Panasonic's social impact strategy is focused on increasing diversity in the pipeline into STEM careers and closing the access and opportunity gap to alleviate educational inequities. 80% of the students enrolled in Camp Skyhook learned English as a second language, and over 70% have limited or no experiences in natural environments. Occidental College is conducting a study on the impact of Camp Skyhook, and initial findings show a 60% increase in content knowledge and a 30% increase in females interested in STEM subjects.
So now, I'm excited to announce this year's winner of GBA's CSR award is Panasonic. Joining me to accept the award is Jeff Warner, Vice President of Corporate and Government Affairs for Panasonic Corporation of North America, Alejandra Saya, Executive Director, Panasonic Foundation, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, founder of Camp Skyhook, though some also may know him as six-time NBA champion. So Jeff, first, let's start with you. Congratulations. Can you share with us some background on Panasonic's footprint in the US and specifically how your operations have been impacted by the pandemic?
Well, thank you very much, Nancy. Great to see you. And, first of all, thank you very much to the Global Business Alliance for this recognition. This is a prestigious award from one of our most important organizations that we're a part of. So on behalf of the 15,000 US employees for Panasonic and our executive leadership team, thank you very much. In terms of our footprint, we've been in the United States, invested in the United States for over 50 years. Like I said, we have 15,000 employees across the country. We're headquartered in Newark, New Jersey, but we have major manufacturing and R&D facilities throughout the country. And like every business in the U.S., we've been very much impacted by the pandemic. We both, have essential employees that have had to be coming to work throughout this entire process, and we've made every provision to make sure they're safe and protected. But also, we've had quite a few people working from home as well. So this has been an adjustment for everyone. But I think one that, like many companies, we figured out a way to do it, and we're finding a way to thrive. And activities like the ones we're talking about today are continuing. So it's important that we continue all of our efforts.
Yeah, great. So can you talk a little bit about how Panasonic serves the communities in which you operate here in the United States?
Yeah, great. Yes, we're the focus on corporate social responsibility and giving back to the communities is really core to the mission of the company. And the way we do that largely is, where we're located, engaging with the community in which we live. Looking at Newark, New Jersey, where we are headquartered. We work very closely with the local government there. For example, the mayor in Newark is setting up a fund for small businesses to recover from the pandemic. We're participating in that with some of the other large businesses as well. We allow for and we encourage volunteer activities from all our employees. We give 35 hours a year of paid leave in order to take part in these volunteer activities. And then we support programs that, like Camp Skyhook that we'll be talking about today, which really focus on STEM education. We've really identified that as one area, I think, where we can make a really big difference and where there's a great need as well, particularly in underserved communities. For us, this is, I think, where we see a great need and one where we can be effective.
Contributing to the, quote, well-being of people, unquote, has been central to Panasonic's mission since its founding over 100 years ago. So can you speak a little bit, I mean, you've talked somewhat, but can you speak a little bit more about the company's philosophy on social impact?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So the company was founded over 100 years ago, and our founder in the very beginning set out 7 principles, the first of which was contribution to society. So in everything that we do in our business, we're looking for ways in which this is contributing to society. So one of those ways is engaging with the communities, giving back, supporting areas like STEM education that we're talking about, to really sort of ingrain ourselves as a positive force within the communities in which we live. So this is something that's really in the DNA of the company. You see it throughout in everything that we do. It's on the back of our business cards. So I think it's, getting this award is really, I think, coming out of that sort of mentality that has been with us since the beginning.
Great. So Jeff, finally, broadly speaking, can you talk a bit about what Panasonic's approach is to corporate social responsibility?
I'm glad you asked that. I think it's evolving. As a company, we've been very involved in the communities and the locations where we are across the country, most notably in Newark, where we can point to a lot of the programs that we're working on that focus very much on that community. What we've started to do, and Alex can talk about this, is really sort of make a national approach out of this, taking the sort of a combined and coordinated strategy across the different business units, across all the locations, the communities we're in. And like I mentioned earlier, we're focusing us on STEM education. And I think, we are, I think, seeing sort of the increased scale of opportunity that way. That's more than just where we're located, but more from a national approach.
That's great. That's great. So thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate you taking the time with us. Thank you to Panasonic for all that you all are doing. Before we hear from our other speakers, I'd like us to take a closer look at the incredible work that Panasonic is doing to help support communities.
We are here in the Angeles National Forest, where the Panasonic Foundation has just made a $100,000 investment in Camp Skyhook. This is a program that's funded by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it's a program that has a strong partnership with the Los Angeles Unified School District.
Camp Skyhook originated when I was trying to figure out what's the best thing I can do to help kids academically. And I saw where science, technology, engineering, and math are so important.
This is a program that's going to allow 4th and 5th grade students access to science curriculum that has been developed in partnership with UCLA and in partnership with NASA.
4th and 5th grade is when many of the students are developing their interests. So if we can get them now before they leave us at 5th grade, we can retain most of those girls and those boys' interest in science and engineering.
A lot of the time our students come from inner city schools and they view nature as an outside entity. And so connecting with it is really the first step. So if we can get students to touch the tree, smell the tree, experience the tree, and then we can get them into some of the science of the tree.
I'm really grateful that Panasonic did this because we can have more freedom in the real world, and become more mature.
I think it's important to have a partnership with a company like Panasonic because they have a great connection to a large amount of communities.
I am now honored to be joined by 2 of the key people involved in Panasonic's CSR initiative. Alex Seha, Executive Director, Panasonic Foundation, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Chairman of Camp Skyhook. Kareem, you finally given me bragging rights with my children, 30+ year career, and this will be the first time my kids will be really proud of me. So thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us a bit about why you decided to begin Camp Skyhook?
Well, to me, I think most people would agree that a good education is a civil rights issue. It's about social justice, being able to get a good education, and too many underserved communities do not get the benefit of a good education from the educational opportunities that are there for them. And we want to figure out a way to show the kids how to make the best use of what's available to them so that they can make good choices and take advantage of the things that can help them. A lot of them are just unaware of it. So it's an awareness campaign, and it enables the kids really to recover from some of the crazy things that have happened in the past year.
Yeah, that's terrific. Alex, can you tell me a little bit about the history behind Panasonic and Camp Skyhook's partnership? How does the partnership advance its social impact mission?
So the Panasonic Foundation has been rooted in advancing educational equity for the past 3 decades. It goes back over 100 years to our founders' basic business principles that we would contribute to society. So we're really excited to have been able to get to know the work that Kareem and his team are advancing through Camp Skyhook. For us, it's really an opportunity to continue to advance educational equity, but most importantly, to focus on programs that are going to prepare children for the 21st century economy. We know that STEM plays a significant role in the future of work, and Camp Skyhook is an example of a program that is not just providing kids with access to STEM, but is also focusing on social emotional learning. And for us, it met all the requirements of our mission. It's an example of a program that is advancing our mission to further help children in this country.
Kareem, I was really impressed by the number of kids that you all have been able to reach during the pandemic. Can you talk a little bit for us about how the program has adapted due to the pandemic, and what value has the initiative brought to students during this challenging time?
Well, because of the pandemic, we had to figure out a way to continue program, and our van program has really enabled us to pivot and continue to reach the kids. In fact, I think we're reaching more kids now. There are 45,000 fifth graders in the LA Unified School District, and we'd like all of them to go to Camp Skyhook every year. We can't do that. We don't have the means yet, but by using the van program, we reach the kids. The kids are sad to see us leave. At the end of the day, when the van has to go, it really helps them connect to something that is meaningful to them. And I think it's really helped us figure out a way to keep the program alive and well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alex, what has surprised you most about the EcoVans initiative? How do you envision this partnership and the initiative evolving from here?
I would say not so much surprised, but more appreciative that Camp Skyhook was able to make the pivot during a global pandemic to continue to provide students with access. So just grateful, given all the partners involved, with Los Angeles Unified School District being the second largest school district in the country, to make sure that we could continue to provide access to students. I think for us, we were just really appreciative that Kareem and his team were able to make that pivot. It's an exciting initiative. We're just really excited for what's to come with the EcoVans initiative, even post-pandemic. I do think it's an opportunity to continue, in addition to the camp, to continue to reach students that really do need access. One of the things we are focused at with the Panasonic Foundation is how do we close the access and opportunity gap? And this is a program that is really helping us achieve that.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about the overall impact of the EcoVan initiative on the communities in which they've gone to?
Well, I think the big impact for the kids is that when we get them out in nature, and they're able to go to the camp, they develop an emotional connection to the outdoors, and the outdoors is calming, and they start to put the two together and see that they're all related and they make one continuous whole, and it really helps them get a better idea of what the world is all about and how they can fit in.
Yeah. Kareem, can you talk a bit about how important the partnership is between Camp Skyhook and Panasonic?
Well, the partnership is absolutely essential because, without the corporate world dealing with these situations, they don't know how they need to go forward. So we really help them see how they can best serve the community and give them access to the people that will be their employees and the people that they serve in the future. This is the beginning of a relationship.
So I'll just ask if either of you have anything else additional that you want to mention about the program, your involvement, or sort of the future ahead.
I'll just add that for Panasonic, Camp Skyhook is an example of an effective public-private partnership. There are so many wonderful individuals involved that Kareem and his team have been able to pull together, from working with UCLA, working with folks at NASA to develop the curriculum. We're just really excited to see this program continue to achieve its mission and support the work that we're doing to advance educational equity.
I'd just like to thank Panasonic because through our connection with them, we're staying alive. The funding that they've given us and the presence that people see that corporations working with people like us can get things done that are meaningful and that keep them connected to the community at large. So everybody wins when these things happen.
Well, Alex and Kareem, thank you both for taking the time. I'm so glad that we were able to highlight such an impressive program, and we'll continue to watch what it does.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Will do.
Panasonic.